So, at the beginning of this film, we see a man. He is in a snowy field, and while cutting the seal, he puts his foot inside the seal. After that, he takes the skin and bandages the wounds of his feet, so that he can continue his journey. Because this soldier named Clemens has to travel thousands of kilometers in this snowy field, and that too alone. This is where the scene cuts to the past, from where we will hear the story of Clemens. This is the time of 1945. Clemens is a German soldier, and it is known that during the war Clemens and his companions were caught by Russian soldiers, and now they will keep them as their prisoners. All German soldiers are sentenced to 25 years, which they had to cut from this place about 10,000 kilometers away in a snowy place. This place was a jail, a strange jail where there was no door and no wall, but still no one could escape because it was impossible to travel 10,000 kilometers without food and water in a snowy area. All the prisoners living here knew that if they left the jail they would die anyway, so it was better for them to stay in jail and work. This is where Clemens was being taken along with many other soldiers. The railway line ends and they have to travel 2,000 kilometers on foot to reach the jail. During this time they were not given much food, it was very cold. In this snowy area a lot of people were dying from hunger and cold, but the rest of the prisoners had no other option but to walk. After walking for 1.5 years, the German soldiers are working, and now Clemens and his companions are also put to work in this mines. After years of hard work and the torture of Russian soldiers, these people do not even want to run away from here. But now the working Clemens was sure that one day he would run away from here. He had a reason to run away: his wife and daughter. Clemens was so happy that he thought he would soon return to his city, but unfortunately the wagon stopped and a Russian soldier had caught him was in front of him. As a punishment, Clemens was put in an open-air cell. It was very cold and the rain made him very ill. He was waiting for his companions. As soon as Clemens went into the mine, he understood that his companions were waiting for him. All the prisoners had weapons to kill him. Because of his anger, the warden had stopped eating for 5 days. As soon as Clemens regained consciousness, he asked the doctor to write a letter to his wife. But the doctor told Clemens that there was carbon all around the prison which would slowly kill every person living here. Clemens came here as a prisoner. He tried to escape but failed. After that he accepted his life. Again and again he thought of running away, but when he came to know that he had cancer he stopped running away. The doctor gave him a compass and told him the way to get out of here. In the darkness of the night Clemens got out of here. Clemens knew that he had to travel 14,000 kilometers to get home. He kept walking, and as soon as the warden got the news of his escape he came to the doctor. But the doctor had already died. The warden tried to interrogate the prisoners, but no one knew anything. 5 days passed. The warden's team searched the whole area, but they couldn't find Clemens. It is impossible for a person to walk more than 100 kilometers. The research team told the warden that we think Clemens is dead. But the warden knew that Clemens is very strong. He is not going to give up. The scene shows that it's been 15 days since Clemens ran away. The food that Clemens had is also over, and there is only snow all around him. He has come a long way from the jail, but it is difficult for him to survive in such cold weather. He has so much strength that he can take the next step. That's why he lies in the snow. Clemens sees a seal, but he misses the target with shivering hands. And when he realizes the danger, the seal saves his life and runs away. Clemens, who had a small hope to survive, didn't want to give up. He used all his strength to catch the seal. But his bad luck was that he broke his leg. His leg burnt in cold water. And when he came out of his strength to save his life, his leg was injured. Despite the pain in his leg, he goes behind the seal and succeeds in killing it. Now Clemens' food problem is solved, but there is nothing around him. To keep his mental state right, he starts talking to himself. And to figure out his way, he keeps looking at his compass. The seal he had caught here had arranged Clemens' food for many days. In addition, Clemens had also broken his bandage with his skin. This was the same scene that was shown to us in the beginning of the movie. By doing this, his leg got a lot of rest and he got the strength to travel again. Clemens kept moving forward with courage. He suddenly saw a tree at a distance. Seeing this tree, he was so happy, as if he had found a treasure. Actually, Finding a tree in such a snowy place was a positive indicator. It was proof that this snowy field is going to end and the jungle is going to start ahead. The hope of survival increases to a great extent. With joy, he goes and hugs the tree, and after walking a little further, fortunately, according to his thinking, he finds a forest. He was very happy here. He lights a fire by collecting wood and spends the night in peace. But no one knew if he would peace the next night. As soon as it was morning, a very bad snowstorm came here, due to which a tree broke and fell on him, and in the accident, Clemens fainted. He was lucky that some hunters passed by in the evening who saw Clemens and they rescued him. Now after the scene cut, we find out in the new scene that 2 years have passed since Clemens was released from jail. The weather has also changed, but the journey of Clemens is still going on. The two men who rescued Clemens with the same two men had a heavy snowstorm. The flow of water was so heavy that it was difficult for them to control their boat. In such a situation, a man drowned in the water due to imbalance. To save him, Clemens jumped to the water, risking his life, and brought him out. But as soon as he came out, he saw that his third partner was very selfish. He had planned to keep all his gold with him. When his partner and Clemens reached here, he shot his partner out of greed. Now he did not trust anyone. To protect his gold, he attacked Clemens and threw him down from the snow. Clemens was now unconscious. When he gained consciousness, he found himself surrounded by wolves. To escape these wolves, a wolf bit his leg. Before the wolf could pull Clemens down and kill him, a man from the area shot all the wolves. Like an angel, Clemens was rescued again. The man brought Clemens to his village, where he was treated well. He recovered and became healthy again. But Clemens' problems continued. One day, he found out that the warden had spread his wanted posters all over the world and anyone could catch him at any time. So it was not safe for him to stay here for a long time. He started his journey, and before going on the journey, the villagers give him food, new clothes and a dog. Clemens starts his journey with the things given to him, and after a year, his dog takes him to a factory. People used to cut wood here. It was time to eat. They give food to Clemens. Clemens eats well. After that, the owner tells him that his car can take him to the next city. He was very happy to know this. He happily boarded the train, but he did not know why the owner had done this favor. Actually, he had already seen Clemens' wanted posters. Clemens boarded the train and informed the warden. Before Clemens reached there, the warden was waiting for him at the station. As soon as he saw him, Clemens fainted. At this time, Clemens' dog helps him, attacks the warden and gives him a chance to escape. The warden's soldiers follow Clemens and Clemens jumps on a moving train. A few months later, Clemens is in a bad condition. He is in a city called Central Asia. He is hungry. He cannot buy anything because he does not have money. Suddenly, a boy comes and puts a piece of bread in his pocket. Two women saw his condition and understood that he was hungry. They asked the boy to give this piece of bread to Clemens. After eating it, he got some energy. Clemens went to the church. He met a Jewish man in the church. He did not like Christians, but he wanted to help Clemens. He was in a bad condition, so he took Clemens to his house. Clemens fixed his appearance and did not ask any questions to this man. This man said to him, "Stay here, I will bring something to eat for you." Clemens nodded and left. When the man came back home, Clemens was not there. He quickly went to the church and met Clemens there. The Jewish man asked Clemens what he was doing here. Clemens replied, "Do not trust anyone anymore. I know you have seen my wanted poster and you also want to hand me to the warden." The Jewish man did not answer any questions and gave him a passport and a pass. Clemens thanked him and left. He was very close to his destination. His journey was about to end. He had to go to the border between Russia and Germany. He had a pass. He took a van lift which made his journey easier. But because of the bad road ahead, Clemens had to walk again. Clemens went to the staff and showed him his pass. He was afraid that someone might recognize him. But no one did. The other soldier gave him his pass back. As soon as he took the next step, he saw the warden. Clemens was not Russian, but he was scared to pass in front of the warden. He remembered all the difficulties he had gone through. He bravely passed the warden. The warden told him that the battle was between two soldiers. You won. Now you are free. Clemens was relieved. He returned to his country, Germany. We see his wife and daughter sitting in the church. Clemens also came to the church to meet them. Clemens did not call his daughter, but she turned around as she hoped that her dad would come. Today, she did not lose hope. Clemens was there. He ran to hug his dad. Clemens' wife was also very happy to see him. Clemens had also gone through a long journey of 7.5 years in their love. Now he had to spend the rest of his life with his wife and daughter. Clemens' true story is about to air.